Howdy, Bill Hammond here. I'm going to run through some of my tricks in three different keys today to kind of just get you out of the rut if you're playing along with other people's music or doing your own and just want some new approaches to really standard chords. We're going to deal with E, A, and D today. So I'm going to start by just kind of looking at an E minor chord. Of course, you take that finger off, you got an E minor 7th, and you can double the E minor 7th out here. So that's a nice two-finger chord variation. You've probably seen this chord where you put 2 out here on the 3rd fret and play it either as a 7th or a straight E minor. That's your Jimi Hendrix Foxy Lady chord. These are nice. And then there's a suspension. So you can always try all of these chords if it just calls for an E minor. If you want to go without a 3rd and do a modal sound, this fingering will get you no 3rd, all 1st and 5ths. Kind of an asexual chord. Here is an E minor add 9. Very nice chord. Then you can climb up these chords too. In this instance, you can go. Oops, went too far. Wind up on an E major shape there. Patterns up the neck, and that will hold true on A minor and D minor, which we're going to do in a bit. So now let's see about going to E major and finding some cool chords. If you take an E major and lift this, you have an E 7th, and just like we did with the minor 7th, you can double it out here. And you can also do these 2 out here and get that kind of a 9th sound there. Let's see. An E major 7th is like this. And an E add 9, a wonderful chord, can be played with your baby finger on the 4th string, or it can be played out here on the 1st string. Now, if you start with an E 7th and want to climb up the neck like we did with the minor, you can do it with just 2 fingers. That works really nicely for blues. Kind of hammer them. And like the minor, you can also keep going up the neck. Go right up as far as the guitar will allow you to do. So let's see if I left out anything on E. Those are just some of the additions. Well, here's an E6, nice chord. You can make that with the 7th too. So let's see. I use that for Route 66. So I think that's about it for E major. Let's go to the key of A and start with minor. Again, lifting a finger off like that gets you an E minor 7th, and you can add that note there, come down there, and you can make it an E add 9 like I did with the minor with your baby finger here. And these chords will also travel up the neck nicely. Note that the 3rd position here is the same as the major form of the chord, so you just move an A minor shape up 2 frets to climb and then make it into what looks like an A major, but it's really an A minor 7th there. In fact, you can lay your finger over there and get a really nice A minor 7th up there. Now you can also climb in major by taking the minor form of the fingering of A minor for the second 2 chords. So here's an A major chord, up 2 frets in the minor form, up 2 more frets, and you actually get an A major 7th up at the top, and that has some nice options like with your baby finger free. Let's see, we've done, this is the A add 9, lovely chord. That's about it. In D minor, we'll do the same thing. To make a D minor 7th, you just lay that down there and bar these 2. This will slide up nicely into a D shape, which is actually a D minor 7th up there, just like the other 2. So it kind of helps you to remember these shapes that that if you take the major form of a minor down here and put it up on the 5th fret, you've got a minor 7th. And what's really cool is it works the opposite way too. You start in major and go up to the minor form, you get a major 7th up there. So there's a D chord with a D minor shape. Up 2 more frets, you get a D major 7th, which is also played like this. Oh, and I was going to point out on all 3 of these keys, a common descension would be bringing that note which is, in this case, the actual root. The root comes down 1 step and you get a major 7th, another half step and you've got a D7. In A you would go A major 7th, A 7th. In E, the best way to do it is to park 2 here and then the other 2 here, and just... So all these chords can be jazzed up a little bit, moved around and fiddled with, and I meant to show you how to make modal chords for A and D too. So remember the E modal chord was kind of hard to figure. So no 3rd in that. In A it's just 2 together like this. And in D it's just take your finger off the top string. Neither major nor minor. Kind of like Pat on Saturday Night Live. Okay, we're going to call this one a wrap and tackle some other stuff in a bit. See ya.